Good evening. Good evening. Good Lord. Let me see. Hey, y'all. Oh, look at my hair. I ain't got no type. Y'all. My camera is crooked a little bit. Hey, y'all. Good evening. Hey, y'all. Thursdays be doing me in. Thursdays be doing me in. I got to get Braxton in the bed on time. He never goes to bed on time. I never start on time, but we're here. We are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thursday Night Live. I'm going to try as best as possible to get through everything tonight. Get it all out the way. We're going to talk SWAC championship for softball. I'll give you an update for that. We're going to talk HBCUGo. They released a schedule. See, my son, he got up. Like he's supposed to be asleep by now, and he's up. Oh, Jesus, pray for me. First of all, I would like to say a happy early Mother's Day to all of the mothers. And if you guys come on Saturday, we'll have a Mother's Day special. We'll play some music specifically for the mothers out there. We're also going to be celebrating the anniversary for my mods. Everybody, shout out to my moderators. So we're going to have a happy moderators night or something like that. So bring your wine, bring your drink, your liquor. You can bring lemonade, water if you don't want to drink any liquor of any choice. You can bring your ginger ale or your Sprite. But on Saturday, we're going to celebrate the mods for my channel. I can't thank them enough for keeping the chat in line because I can't do it all by myself. And they're just as much an extension of this channel. And they always have the chat popping and fun. And it's an extension of the platform. So we're going to celebrate that on Saturday. Yes. So whatever you want to drink, water, ginger ale, Sprite, Pepsi, Gatorade, some sweet tea, some unsweet tea. We will be celebrating. Now,
I know you didn't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Go lay down. Oh, goodness gracious. We're going to talk about the NCAA expansion to 76 teams. We will also be talking about a interaction that happened on X this past week. The Norfolk State head basketball coach. He reached out on the internet to try to find another D1 school to get on the schedule. And Miss Tiffany Dawn Sykes, she's the AD at Virginia State, her alma mater. She made an offer. I don't think it's an offer that you could refuse as an HBCU D1 basketball team. And there was an account that had something to say about it. And so we're going to talk about that because that was an interaction that I believe is important. Braxton, go get in the bed right now. I thought we were going to discuss when. Y'all, are we talking about the APR tonight too? Because the APR scores dropped. I don't know if y'all wanted to talk about that or not. We're talking about additional APR scores dropped. We can talk about that. Windmill Wednesday, we're always windmilling, so it's kind of hard to decipher. Y'all gonna have to catch me up on the topics. I done forgot them because we always doing it. We're always like windmilling. Jackson State, stay windmilling about something. All right, so let's start off with the women's softball. Missed today. Usually he has commentary on it. And so I missed that today. But Lord have mercy, the Lady Tigers are going to have to get over this hump of getting beat by Alabama State. But they did a phenomenal job coming out the gate. They were up 5-1 before there was a 45-minute delay. So Alabama State is, of course, in terms of the Commissioner Cup, they're like literally right there. So they're at 109 and we're at 117. You see that softball pitcher was about to windmill on the PV. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So the women's team fell to Alabama State today. We'll go over the bracket, of course. But we at this point, we want anybody not named Alabama State to win the tournament. So even if FAMU won, we would appreciate FAMU winning, right? Because FAMU's so far down, it's not like they're going to catch up. But if the women's team wins that tournament, they're going to be right on our heels for the Commissioner Cup. It's getting closer and closer and closer. So, y'all, we're right there. We're literally right there. All right. You know they have track and field coming up, and we have men's, the baseball tournament for men's. All right. So here is that the correct? I don't think that's the correct update. Let me see. Nope. I don't have the correct update right now. Let me just see if I can look at the bracket. They don't have a bracket update right now. Going into today, we faced Alabama State, of course, and we lost. And then Southern beat Bethune-Cookman in a really close game. And I believe Florida A&M beat Texas Southern tonight. So it's going to be. Did Southern and Alabama State have a game tonight? Don't Southern and Alabama State have a game tonight? They might have a game. Is it? It could be going on right now, y'all. Somebody check that score for me, please. I think they have one tonight. Maybe I'm tripping. No, I'm not tripping. There's a game. Oh, wait. It says there's a 6 o'clock. Oh, okay. So there might be. So Texas Southern is going to be playing. Did Southern beat Alabama State? What's the score, y'all? We need Southern to win. I can't believe I would say that, but we need Southern to win. The athletics, it's been a really close one this year. I'll say that. As long as Texas Southern and Bama State didn't win, we're okay. Wait a minute. The PV player was trying to run up on her. Oh, yeah. I did see that. I think Unc called the young lady Macy Gray. Bama State's up 3-0. What inning are you guys in? What inning is it? Make sure that you go to the Jackson State softball Instagram, just because they have a lot of content regarding the seniors. Bottom of the fourth, Southern at bat, fourth inning. Okay. All right, y'all. So they're battling it out. The number 4 seed versus the number 2 seed, Southern versus Alabama State. It's on right now on SWAC TV. I would say turn one thing on to watch Southern TV, and then you guys can tune in to me as well. So we're gonna see how this plays out, y'all. We're gonna see how it plays out. So tomorrow, whoever wins this game tonight will take on Texas Southern. Bottom of the fourth. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was 8 innings, but I guess it's 7 innings with softball. So there's that. I mean, hey, there's always next year. I know our coach did get ejected at the end. It was like a really funky 7th inning. It was a lot going on. I was almost confused because there was so many like little things going on. Braxton, if I tell you one more time to get into that bed, I'm gonna have to tear your butt up. I'm not playing with you. I can see you in the TV and you're sitting in the hallway. Get in your bed now. Lord have mercy. All right, y'all. My son is definitely trying it. Because why are you not asleep? It was clear the umpire. I thought it was just me. I'm glad to know that it wasn't just me. I was like, what in the heck is going on with these calls or lack of calls? What is going on? What is going on? I don't think they get switches anymore, Jay. We're not at that level anymore. They don't do that with kids. They don't get switches anymore for kids. They don't really spank kids anymore. None of that happens anymore. All right. So I don't be talking over. Did you guys see my poll? Let me put it out there. I have a poll talking about the HBCUGo games, which we will be talking about momentarily. So make sure that you vote. All right. So, hey, Miss Riri. Hey, Miss Uniqua. Hey, Lady T. So, this particular interaction, excuse me, took place on X/Twitter. And I wanted to talk about it because I think it's important that we acknowledge where we're at in society and what it means. All right. So, Robert Jones, Norfolk State University's head men's basketball coach, said, "I need some home games versus Division I opponents next year. We'll start a home and home series and give you up to $10K to start at my place. Who's willing to come to Eccles Division I?" So he's looking for some Division I games. I do know that there are some like power fours, some mid majors, and some majors that have stopped scheduling the likes of a Norfolk State. They'll be hesitant to schedule a Bethune-Cookman. What's another team that they'll be hesitant to schedule? Probably Southern men's basketball as well. Sometimes they get a little hesitant when they see them coming close to or upsetting mid-majors or major basketball teams because they don't want to lose their seating or their place in the NCAA tournament. Tennessee State men's, okay. So sometimes it's hard to schedule certain games, right? And especially with the expansion of the NCAA tournament, which we will go in depth into what it means for HBCUs. Will it stay the same? Is it going to have an impact? So he wrote that. So then the Virginia State AD, Miss Tiffany Dawn Sykes, she quotes him and said, "If it's a D1 HBCU and you go to Norfolk State for this game, I'll pay you $20,000 to play Virginia State University on the front end or back end of this same trip." So basically, what she's trying to do is get a 2-for-1, right? So that means that the team was already going to be in the area. So why don't you slide over here and come pick up this extra $20,000 and you play a game against us? And so then CBB Nation said, "Why does it have to be an HBCU? Can't it just be a normal integrated D1? Excuse me. What does normal integrated mean? We are positive that Norfolk State will not discriminate against any team that would play them," which coach didn't say. He said any D1 team. But if it's going to be an HBCU, Virginia State would like to play them, and you can get an extra $20,000 just for playing us. HBCUs need to have the same mindset as Hampton and North Carolina A&T and go find a league that will help with money. Now, I'm trying to figure out which money that the CAA has that they're giving to Hampton or North Carolina A&T, because last time I checked, they were not the top conference in terms of revenue giving back to their schools. And for the brand names that they have, that they, the brand recognition that they claimed that the CAA had, they definitely weren't getting a lot of money at all. It was kind of actually abysmal compared to some of those heavy hitters that they had. I think they had Delaware, Villanova. They had some heavy hitters, and those particular teams were not bringing in any revenue for the conference. But it's telling, right, that CBB Nation would say you need to be like Hampton and North Carolina A&T. They want you to be integrated. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind Jackson State going to play Norfolk State and then also playing Virginia State. I wouldn't mind it at all. It's looking more and more like with the NCAA tournament, with the expansion, that the HBCU conferences are still going to be a one bid league. It's like an automatic qualifier, just based off of the fodder that's been going around. I would like to see Jackson State versus Norfolk State, and then head on over to Virginia State. So what do we know about HBCU matchups? Well, we know that there's more revenue than playing a PWI. This is why you have classics or, preseason games between HBCUs. Less ticket revenue, lower fan engagement, no community connection. The brand isn't yours. So we know that in the East Coast and the MEAC and the CIAA, that like basketball really is king up there. Virginia State versus FAMU would be hilarious. What is wrong with you, Thetis? You're just messy. Just messy. That's what you are. You're messy. All right. Anyway, so we're going to see how this plays out with, but hopefully they find a good matchup. I personally wouldn't mind seeing Jackson State play Norfolk State for a home and home. I think that would be a good matchup. Thetis being messy. All right, y'all. Let me know if y'all can see that poll. Look in the top right corner of your screen. Can you guys see that poll? So the poll says, do you think the expansion of 76 teams in the NCAA March Madness will help or hurt HBCUs? So now we're ready to talk about that. Bama State still got the ball. I mean, are still at bat. Let me pull up Southern softball. What did you guys think about the commentators for the softball games? Did you like them? Good, bad, indifferent? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Dang, they don't have where is the I was trying to get the thing up there, but I couldn't find it. Sucks for me. Guy called the game for Bama State, and we had a whole inning to go. That's why I thought it was over. He was like, "This is for the game. This is to tie the game, and this is for the game winner. This is for the game winner." And I'm like, "Wait, what? It was the top of the seventh. I was like, but I thought we get it back. So if you're saying they score that they automatically win, he definitely had that wrong. That's why when they scored, he was like basically saying it was over. I'm like, wait a minute. Bottom of it was the top of the seventh, and he had already called it. Ooh. Mm, 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 mm. There was a couple calls was I was like, the coach, our coach asked, like, you said that it was a ball. What was the call? Was it too high, too low, on the outside, too far in? Like, what was the call? And he got a warning. Then they, you know what? They just knew he was gonna cut up. They gave him a warning immediately. And then he got caught. He said he got caught up in the moment. Caught up in the moment. You got so happy that Jackson State got beat. You was that caught up. You got that caught up. A miss. Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey, how you doing, babe? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. We're trying to close it out. We got, let's see, next week and the week after.
Oh my goodness, please help me. I can't. My son will not go to sleep. Like, it's just too much. Like you said, we only got 10 more days, Mr. Ford. 10 more days. You want to speak to everybody?
Yeah. Hey, Miss Whitley. Is Brandy on? Hey, Brandy. Hey, Lady T. What about Dr. Kanisha? Hey, Dr. Kanisha. Hey, let's see, who else? What about that's it, Lady T. Miss Mary. Hey, Miss Mary. Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody else.
Yeah. Hey, everybody else.
So, you missed the first part, Mr. Ford.
What did I miss?
Um, let me pull it up. So, um, Coach Jones from Norfolk State's head coach.
Yeah. Robert Jones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said he did a post on X that said he needed some home games versus Division One opponents next year, and he said that he'll give you up to 10,000 to start at Norfolk State, and who's willing to come. So then Miss Tiffany Don, the AD
Yeah.
for Miss
Oh, yeah.
Sykes, the AD for
Mhm.
Virginia State, she quoted it and said, if it's a D1 HBCU and you go to Norfolk State, I'll pay you 20,000 to play Virginia State on the front end or the back end of the same trip.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So she's trying to get like a 2-for-1. So why did CBB Nation, they cover basically college basketball? Why did they say, why does it have to be an HBCU? Can't it just be a normal integrated D1? And they basically said HBCU, HBCUs need to have the same mindset as Hampton and North Carolina A&T and go find a league that will help with money.
Well, always remember this: North Carolina A&T and Hampton are a bunch of suckers. Okay, so if you want to be a sucker, follow behind them. Okay, just remember right now, these Caucasians are out of their minds, and the best thing to do is separate from them. And integration is the worst thing you could do. Not integrate, separate. Okay, not integrate, separate. So that's how I feel about that. Okay. So if you want to be a sucker, yeah, follow behind North Carolina A&T and Hampton.
I couldn't believe that they said that.
Yeah, well, they said it.
You know they getting real bold, Mr. Ford. Real bold. They don't
Okay.
even hide it anymore, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what I just said? Okay. So
Why
it's
would you
not
want to even
integrate. It's not
continue to
integrate.
be?
Separate.
Yeah, I believe in separate but equal. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing against them in these matchups, especially in the preseason. You're going to meet up at the NCAA tournament. You're going to meet up at preseason. But I am a firm believer in, especially with the brands that HBCU basketball has. Like, I believe CIAA is probably one of the biggest uh, basketball conference brands in the nation.
Listen, I remember for years, CIAA basketball was the best basketball at HBCU sport.
I'm
Okay.
not even just talking about HBCU. I'm just talking about
But
like
I'm just
the
saying,
whole,
I
the
remember
whole.
it just a few years back when everybody brought, but CIAA basketball was the best basketball in HBCU sports, without a doubt. And they had the tournament behind them. You know that thing. That tournament would sometimes be in Richmond. It would be in Norfolk. It would be in Charlotte, Winston
I
Salem.
remember when it was in
Yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah. I remember when it was in Richmond. I remember when it was in Norfolk
I
at
want to
the
say
Stone.
one year they had All Star and CIAA back to back.
Yeah. So listen. I mean, I know we're gonna run behind them because that's how we do. But I just think we need to play our own schools. How about Norfolk playing? Like I said, Norfolk play Virginia State. Norfolk play Tennessee State. Play
Now
Grambling.
I do think that
Yeah.
the likes of like Norfolk, Howard, Tennessee State, Jackson State, Alabama State, Bethune Cookman. I do believe that those programs are looking to start scheduling, or not start, but continue to schedule um, major schools because there's upsets. But I also believe that with the expansion of the NCAA to 76 teams and how they're placing matchups like 11 versus 11 and 12 versus 12, I do believe that a lot of the schools that help actually pull in revenue, because they basically play money games and stuff like that, I believe that they might reduce those amount of games, Mr. Ford. I think that that the HBCUs are probably going to be impacted because they will be incentivized to not schedule HBCUs and instead schedule more teams that will help them with their seeding.
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna worry myself about the fact that they go into 76, and I'm gonna tell you why. All that's about is getting them subpar SEC and Big Ten teams in the tournament. Okay, what you're getting ready to see is you're gonna see losing teams in the NCAA tournament from the SEC and from the Big Ten. That ain't had nothing to do with no black schools. If they could, they wouldn't even give black schools the invitation. That's why they make us do that play-in game, where we do the play-in and then they put you against the top team in the country. All right. If they had that way, you wouldn't get no invitation. Black schools wouldn't get an invitation, period. That whole thing with that 76, that's for the Power Four schools who have subpar records and they want to get them into the NCAA tournament. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That's, once again,
So
the rich
then,
getting richer and the poor getting poorer. That's what that's all about.
so here's the thing. I'm just gonna, I guess, see how it plays out. But when I looked at it, I was like, well, normally for HBCUs, we play the play-in game, we get one unit, and then we they've been winning. So then we play, like you said, the game against the number 1 seed, and then
Yeah,
we're
they're gonna
out
put you against
anyway.
Duke, Kansas, who else? Whoever's number 1, because they want you out as soon as possible.
Right. So the only thing that I could think of, which they normally don't ever, I think the highest seed that a HBCU gets is probably like a 14 seed, right? I was trying to see, is there a possibility that you could be facing, like you said, a lower tier a losing SEC team? Like, how would that work out, or how would that play out? But based off of the way that this map looked, I was like, oh, it's basically, you're going to end up with the same amount of units. You just have more people that will be eligible for units. Like you said, the lower tier SEC. But in terms of HBCUs, it's not going to change anything. Because I was like, well, maybe they might let two. I doubt they would let 2 HBCUs from the same conference in. And we still end up playing the number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's just that we, instead of being an owner, we want to be renters. I just wish our schools would come together and form our own national tournament. I'm for it. Like I said, I'm for
Mr. Ford,
separation.
that's like
National
$4 million.
I'm so
That's
sick of this renter's mentality instead of an owner's mentality.
And then you do know that after, like, this is also probably going to eliminate the like any extras. Like, there's not going to be a CBI, there's not going to be an NIT, right? So this will eliminate all of those other tournaments. So I was thinking that maybe they can have another tournament post March Madness, right? Because we're usually out by what, mid-March? You can still have another tournament, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, but like I told you, I would like for us to separate from the NCAA.
They got way too much money invested.
Well, I
And
mean, listen,
that's
like
why everybody
and you said it
participates.
yourself, all money and good money. All money and good money. Okay? Somewhere, you need to have some ethics, some pride,
I
that you
don't
can
know,
do it.
Mr. Ford. I don't know where you're
Yeah,
gonna get
yeah, I
$4
do.
million from. Where you
Well,
gonna get 4 million?
you never know. If you come up with the right plan, you can get more than 4 million. Yeah. So, like I said, I'd like for us to start acting like we have a ruling class mentality instead of a slave mentality. Always running behind your master, and he don't want nothing to do with you.
Uh, uh, anyway,
Yeah.
Mr. Ford,
Mm,
always running up behind the massa.
yeah, always running behind the master. That's what I said. I wish we had a ruling class mentality instead of a slave or plantation mentality. Yasa masa, yasa masa.
Ooh. Anyway, Mr. Ford, here
Yeah,
you go.
right.
Always picking up the masses. All right. All right. So, do you think the expansion of 76 teams in the NCAA March Madness will help or hurt HBCUs? Type 1 for help, 2 for hurt, 3 for we may be able to get 4 teams in, and 4 for the impact will be the same. Meaning we're going to get our 4 million if we win our playing game. We've been playing 16 versus 16. So it's not going to affect us any. Oh, Oh, and I wanted to acknowledge and Mississippi had some storms, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, yeah, I did hear
Some
about it.
really, really bad storms.
Right. With the tornadoes
Um,
and all.
I was told that there were 3 tornadoes,
Uh-huh.
and Bogachetta was hit hard. I think Franklin County was hit hard.
Mhm.
Brookhaven.
Oh
It
yeah.
says that a large rain-wrapped wedge tornado crossed I-55 south of Brookhaven, snapping thousands of trees, destroying mobile homes in Lincoln County, and causing major structural damage. Another twister struck near Purvis,
Right.
devastating parts of a church described as total devastation.
Mhm.
Bogachito and other spots in Lamar and surrounding counties. So, this spring has been real funky in North Carolina. Like, I think our first time getting rain for almost a month and a
Right.
half, like steady rain, was literally
Mm.
yesterday and the day before. And we haven't had any thunderstorms. It's almost like the spring's not existing. But we just want to keep those prayers to all of those who are affected, family
Right.
members. But we have to be mindful that now is the time to make sure that you have a plan in place for when you have violent weather like this.
Right. Mhm.
And also, you talk to family members and friends on what you're supposed to do in the event of a tornado.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Where do you plan on being? Do
Oh
you
yeah.
have a basement? Um, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
Very important to keep those things in mind. Having battery chargers, solar pads, maybe even have like a backpack that's already filled with all of your essentials that you might need in case there's an emergency and you have to leave really quick.
Right.
So
Oh
I
yeah.
want to keep everyone in the prayers for everyone that's affected by the
Mhm.
storm. And they had a very terrible storm, Mr. Ford, a
Mhm.
couple years ago in Rolling Fork.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I remember. Oh yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. So I asked everybody in the chat, which is which HBCUGo games are they happy to see? They released the schedule today, Mr. Ford. Did you get a chance to see
Yeah,
it?
it came. We saw it at school, and we were talking about it at lunchtime in the school. Everybody was very excited about it.
Not you guys had a brunch.
Well, we were eating in the cafeteria with the kids, but uh, somebody pulled it up, and we were talking. Because I told you, I work with HBCU people from every school you can name. But anyway, everybody was really happy about it. They thought it was really that HBCUGo outdid themselves.
One thing that I'll
Now,
say about go ahead.
I was gonna tell y'all, go ahead on and get mad with me about this because I'm about to say something gonna probably upset y'all. I'm not saying it out of disrespect either, but I'm
Wait
just
a
saying,
minute. Wait a minute.
uh,
Hold up. Let me put Mr. Ford stuff on here. That
yeah,
ain't me talking. That's Mr. Ford.
yeah, and
All
I don't mean no disrespect, but one of the games we was talking about today, because Memphis is a SWAC city and it's one of our premier SWAC cities. There was some of us who felt that Alcorn with their following was good. However, we think that Arkansas Pine Bluff needs to be taken out and that another outstanding program like a Prairie View, a Southern,
Oh, Prairie View,
yeah, should be brought to Memphis to
Mr.
make it,
Ford.
listen to me, to make it an excite. Listen, when you say Alcorn versus Listen, you say Alcorn versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. That don't excite nobody.
Mr.
And you talking
Ford.
about, and let me say this: you're playing in the Liberty Bowl. You're in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, you know what kind of crowds that Jackson and Tennessee State brought. So I'm saying you can keep Alcorn because they bring a crowd. How about bringing another outstanding perennial power to Memphis to go against Alcorn? How about that?
How about absolutely not? Hell no, and 20 hell
Well,
no's, and
let me say this,
300
brother.
hell no's.
Isaac,
Mr.
was it
Ford, wait a
1906?
minute.
They are the
Wait a
defending.
minute.
Listen, you says PV doesn't excite nobody. Hey, but PV is
PV
the
don't
defend.
excite nobody.
Listen. PV is the defending SWAC champion.
And
Yes,
nobody went to the Celebration Bowl to see them.
no, but they're the defending SWAC champion. Okay, that means something. That means something.
Mr. Ford, it does not mean anything.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
UAPB,
They are the defending SWAC champions. They
I don't
won the
know.
championship.
I don't know what PV alum done went and put some voodoo on you or something.
No, it's
Mr.
not voodoo.
Ford,
It's the fact that they're the defending champion.
nobody cares that they're the defending
Yeah,
champion.
yeah. I take note of that because
All
I
right.
respect champions. I do.
And you ain't finna drive to Memphis to go see them.
Yeah. I would if I had like I said, uh, I wouldn't drive to Memphis to see Alcorn and Pine Bluff. But yeah,
Okay.
I would go to Memphis to
So
see Alcorn and Prairie View, or Alcorn and Southern, or Alcorn and Alabama State. Okay.
so
Yeah, or
UAPB
Alcorn and
is
South Carolina State. Yeah, I'd ride up there for that.
UAPB is 2 hours and 30 minutes from Memphis.
I know about the geography. I understand that, but I'm trying to say
Nobody is
is that
nobody is
they can
traveling
get
to
a
go see
better
Prairie View.
matchup than and I'm
Absolutely
not being
not.
disrespectful to Pine Bluff.
I
Okay,
don't think
but
you're
let me ask
wrong.
you this. Let me ask you this. When's the last time Pine Bluff had a winning season? When's
We
the
don't
last
know.
time Arkansas Pine Bluff had a winning season?
I don't know, but people in the chat said they would
It-
rather watch paint dry.
okay.
PV fans don't travel. We're not. Do you know what the excuse is that folks
Well,
from
I
Prairie
mean,
View gave
listen,
when
I
it
just
came to
said
the Celebration Bowl?
if not Pine Bluff, the defending champions. How about an Alabama State? Okay.
No,
How
Alabama
about a
State's
Florida
already
A&M? Okay. How about even
no,
listen? How about even a South Carolina State? Okay.
no,
Yeah.
Mr. Ford,
Oh yeah.
Mr. Ford.
Mhm.
Okay, so listen. What you're saying is now, do I think that Alcorn and UAPB is the best matchup for the Southern Heritage Classic? No, I've always thought it should be Jackson State and Tennessee State. Now,
Oh, I said that too, but I'm just saying, with you not having Tennessee State and Jackson State, I'm saying I can see the Alcorn because Alcorn will bring a crowd. But I'm saying that thing, you're in the Liberty Bowl, you're in Memphis, Tennessee, okay? And then you're talking about Alcorn versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. People will keep sleeping. That's not going to excite
where's the
anybody.
line? We need a line. Mr. Ford, here's the thing. And folks might, they might clip me and use me for their show. Make sure it's less than 15 seconds or you'll get a copyright. Let me just make this abundantly clear. A lot of classics die because instead of figuring out how to bring teams that have a fan base, paying them what they're worth, they invite teams that do not have the fan base. The excuse for the Celebration Bowl for why Prairie View was not able to bring a large base is, well, we're far away from Texas. Most of the people that go to Celebration Bowl are not students. It's alums and fans. It's not the students. Just like it's just not. It's like older people that go and they don't travel. They don't. if they don't travel to the Celebration Bowl, which is one of the most important games in the football, uh, if we're going to talk about like how important the game is, Celebration Bowl is the most important. If you can't get folks to show up for that, you know that they're not
Well,
going to
hey,
the
here's the
Southern
thing.
Heritage
When
Classic.
you go back and look at the 10 years of the Celebration Bowl, the South Carolina State Prairie View game was not the lowest attendance. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
it was. They
no, it
ain't
was
want to
not.
embarrass.
No, it
It
was not.
was.
It was
It
not the
was.
lowest attendance. No, it was
It
not.
was. It was,
No,
Mr.
no, it was
Ford.
not.
They
No.
counted. They counted how many ticket sales they had. Baby, some folks just didn't show up. It eh, it absolutely was the most. If we talk about people coming in person and sitting down in their seats, the amount of people that bought tickets were not the amount of people that actually showed up.
Well,
It
like
was
I said,
definitely the lowest
even if they can't get Prairie View, there are other schools in the SWAC that would draw more attention. Like I said, you could bring Southern to Memphis. You could bring Grambling. You could bring Florida A&M. You could bring Alabama State. Like
And
I said,
here's
you
the
could
reason
even
why
bring
I would
South
say they
Carolina
got
State.
the hantavirus. They got the hantavirus going around. So most people gonna be driving places. They're gonna be driving. People gonna be driving. They ain't getting on planes like that. By the time it hits September, October, folks start sniffling. Folks is gonna be driving. And if you can't drive, you ain't going nowhere. I'll say this. Southern has to play Alabama State in Birmingham.
And that's going to be a major matchup. You know what? I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if it's 40,000 or plus. Because from what I'm hearing, Birmingham, they've already named it the Birmingham Classic. They're going out of their way to make that a very lucrative event. And I'm like I said, whoever came up with this idea to bring Southern and Alabama State to Birmingham, kudos to that person. It was a brilliant idea. And like I said, I'm looking for it to be at least 35 to 40,000.
Right. So then you got that one. So then Southern has to travel to Jackson State this year. So that's two trips for people who are, from Southern in terms of like, okay, we're going to take these trips to these different games. FAMU has Miami twice, and they got to go to Alabama State, and they got to go to Jackson. So I would think that, I mean, putting FAMU maybe next year, maybe when everybody has to go to FAMU, maybe putting them in there. But I wouldn't, because it's like the third or fourth week, I believe, in September, maybe the second week. I want it's like the first or second Saturday, and they already have the Orange Blossom Classic, Mr. Ford. So you stretching folks thin.
No, I'm not stretching people thin. I'm saying get a better caliber
I'm just
opponent
saying
and
it
get
can't
a
be sudden.
listen. Get a caliber opponent that will draw people. Okay, when you say Arkansas Pine Bluff football, that doesn't draw people. That doesn't excite people. That's not championship football. Okay, I think if you go back and look, maybe the last time that Pine Bluff had a winning team was probably in the Doc Gamble. How many years ago was that? Okay, has Alonzo Hampton had a winning season since he's been at Pine Bluff? I don't think
No.
so. Okay, so all I'm saying is get a higher caliber opponent to go against Alcorn.
Alcorn ain't even been doing that good.
Well,
Are you
but they
forgetting
bring
that UAPB
no,
beat Alcorn
but
last
they
year?
will bring their people will come.
They did come and
The
they got
Brave
their ass
Nation will
whooped.
show up. They will come. And like I
Matter of
said,
fact,
get them
G was
someone
on
who will
live.
push them.
G
Okay.
was G
Uh,
was on live swallowing a fifth like it was a bottle of water. I kid you not. He was downing a fifth like it was a bottle of water because UAPB smacked them in the Southern Heritage Classic. Uh-oh. Bama State and Southern tied 3-3 in the fifth. Are they in the bottom of the fifth? Southern has tied the game. Pine Bluff has 2,000 active fans. Do they have a SWAC rival? Oh Lord. Maybe what about Valley, Mr. Ford?
How about Alabama State? How about, like I said, if you can
You
get a Southern, if you can get a um, even a South Carolina State defending Black College champion to come to Memphis, okay, that's what we're looking at. But like I said, you're in Memphis, in a beautiful stadium, Liberty Bowl. I think Liberty Bowls holds about what 60,000, 50,000, okay, and you're wasting an opportunity because you don't have the right matchup. No disrespect to Pine Bluff, okay? No disrespect to Pine Bluff, but I'm just saying, bring someone to Memphis to go against Alcorn that would draw interest, that people would want to see, okay? Let's say it again. Arkansas Pine Bluff is not a national brand.
Oh Lord, Prairie View is not a national brand either. Not in
But they
football,
won the SWAC. They
Mr.
won the SWAC,
Ford. Why
and
do you keep on bringing that up?
they're the defending SWAC champions.
That has
Okay.
absolutely nothing to do with brand building.
Yeah,
Okay, just
but
because
Pine
you
Bluff
win the
is
swag does not
when you
mean
listen,
you're gonna
when
bring a
you talk to
crowd.
children around the country and you say, would you
Ooh,
be
hold
interested in
on.
going to Arkansas Pine Bluff to play football?
I think now that they got Teron Hempstead, whatever his whatever his name is, they done got him involved in the program. I think they do. It's one of the highest
That's
paid
good. I'm glad
HBCU
for that,
players.
but I'm just saying
Teron
they
Hemp.
you could get a better matchup. You can get
Uh,
a better match. You get a better opponent for Alcorn.
I think for me personally, if I had to think about the Southern Heritage Classic, I think that UAPB and Alcorn had to build something in terms of it took them a while to build. I think what is it? This would be their what third year? Their
Yeah.
third year. I think that they're building. And I think that the Alcorn fans are
Okay,
going to come back with
how
a
many years
vengeance.
has Coach Alonzo Hampton been at Arkansas Pine
I
Bluff?
want to say 4. I think 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that they're building, meaning, their base is building in terms of folks who are going to go to that game. As long as Jones is in Memphis, like he's not going to, and that's another thing. PV's probably not going to go for the compensation package that they have. They're just not. Then again, they might. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Uh they might not go for the compensation package.
Well, I'm going to go back to my original assertion is that you can get a better matchup in Memphis than Alcorn versus Pine Bluff.
Damn, you
Right.
said take away Pine Bluff's little classic that they had.
And bring in a higher caliber opponent that people in the surrounding area, metro area, and nationally would come to Nashville to see.
I think they had
I'm sorry, to come to Memphis to see.
so how much do you think what do you think the attendance should be? What is a good attendance for you
As far as
for
at
that
the
game?
Liberty Bowl,
For the Southern Heritage Classic, Alcorn is the main stage for that. Is that that's basically what you're saying, the
well,
stable.
mhm,
What is a good number of people that you would say, yeah, that's a good amount of people?
35,000, 30 to 35,000.
So those are like Jackson State versus Tennessee State numbers.
No. Jackson State, Tennessee State numbers were always 50,
They were
45 to 50.
45 to 50 back when I was in school, but
Yeah,
as of
it's
late,
50.
it was
was
like
50.
it was not 50.
Usually it was between 40 to 50,000.
Mr. Ford, it has not been no 40 or
You need to
50,000.
go back. Listen, you need to go back and look at the attendance stat. Go back and look at it. Go back
I
and look at the attendance
am.
stat.
I am.
Okay. Okay. The last year that Jackson played in the That was I think that was should do his sophomore year, right? Was that
Hmm.
okay? What was the attendance of that game?
Hang on, I'm trying to see the attendance for the last game. The last game they had 21,000. In 2025, they had 21,000. Mind you, he ain't really paying nothing. In the year before that, they actually had Tennessee State. They had 27,000, 27,500 when it was Tennessee State versus UAPB. And let's look up the last year that we were there and see how many. Let's look at Jackson State and see what the numbers are. I remember 49K in the late 2000. Yeah, but I don't think it's been that much. I think it's literally been in the 30,000 area. That's why I said it ain't been that much. Now, mind you, it definitely was 50,000 when I was in school. Absolutely.
What was the attendance Shadur's 2 years at Jackson?
All right, let's go to
What was the attendance?
2022. Let's see. 51,351.
Okay, that was his sophomore year, freshman year.
Sophomore year.
Okay, what was the number his freshman year?
$46,171.
Okay.
Let's see what about before that.
Okay.
It was canceled in 2018. Okay, 2019, it was 48,000. 2019, it was 48,000. I want to say it was canceled. That was COVID year. You know it was canceled that year.
Right.
Yeah. So Southern is getting more base runners. Okay. So I just don't think it'll ever be that much. Never going to be 50, 40 unless they get back Jackson State and Tennessee State. And they didn't want to pay us the money. And Tennessee State was mad at us only for them to exit because they weren't getting the amount of money that they needed. So, Mr. Ford, you're saying that Prairie View can bring in 51,000?
I'm saying that Prairie View would be a more worthy opponent than Arkansas Pine Bluff. If not Prairie View, then you should go for an Alabama State, a Southern, a Florida A&M, okay, even a South Carolina State, okay, with them being the defending national black champions. Those are the kinds of matchups against Alcorn that would bring the 30 to 35,000.
No. Part of the matchups that you're talking about involve fans from both teams, and so that would not work. So you're gonna have to figure out a different matchup. Matter of fact, I have some terrible news to share with you, Mr. Ford. Charles sent this to me, and he informed me that the classic that you keep on saying that you want for folks to
I heard about it today. Yeah,
that they basically won't feature black college football teams.
Yeah,
and
we heard.
You know what the reason for that is, Mr. Ford, right?
Well, they were going and getting Division II schools that had no following. I mean, it was really good.
So if you can understand, So if you can understand that Circle City Classic was getting Division II teams with no following, why you can't understand that Prairie View has no following?
Yeah, but like I said, they
You
the
keep on
defending
talking
champ.
about that they're the defending champs, like that
Yeah.
means
I mean, is that
anything.
a fact or is that fiction or what? Is
It
that a myth?
doesn't make
That,
it
wait a
doesn't
minute, wait a
make
minute. I'm asking, is that a myth? Is it a fact? Okay. Is it untrue that they're the
what does
defending
that
flag
have to
champions?
do? What does that have to do with a new season and folks traveling to a football game?
Because
Absolutely
everybody
nothing.
wants to see the defending champion.
Nobody wants to see them.
That's your opinion.
Well, then you drive up to Memphis, Mr. Ford.
I mean, if they were that, yeah, I would drive up to Memphis to see them against Alcorn. Yeah, I would. But I
They
wouldn't drive
don't.
up there to see. Wait. I wouldn't drive up there to see Alcorn play Pine Bluff. No, I'm not going to do that.
It is a fact that Prairie View is the national not national, excuse me.
They're the SWAT
They're the
champ.
national losing
Yeah, they're the SWAT champ.
national losing team at the Celebration Bowl. That's a fact, okay? They blew a 21-point lead. That's a fact. No, Mr. Ford, you know what? They might be tuned into HBCUGo. Now, just because they don't want travel to go see them does not mean that they won't watch them on HBCUGo. That is two totally different things, right? People will watch all day long. People love watching HBCU football. Watch it all day long, right, Mr. Ford? Aren't you going to start when football season comes? It's a day of football.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So watching them from a TV where you're not that invested, meaning you're putting hundreds to thousands of dollars to go in to go see a team, that's different, Mr. Ford. But when we're talking about the only two games that Prairie View has where they really show up, I believe, is the State Fair Classic and the Labor Day Classic, right, Mr. Ford?
Yeah. That's yeah. That's all
Labor
that
Day Classic, they gonna show up. It's Texas Southern and Prairie View.
Yeah.
State Fair Classic, Grambling, and Prairie View. They are gonna show up for those, right?
Mm-hmm.
The home and home between Southern and Prairie View, I think they get pretty good attendance at those. But in terms of saying, hey, we're going to bring at least 15,000 fans, guaranteed. Like, there's only a couple of schools that could say that. I'm guaranteeing you 15,000 fans. One of those is like, I believe Jackson State could say any given game, we're going to bring 10 to 15,000, an away game. That's what we're
that's a fact.
bringing
That's
to
a
the
fact.
table when you talk about matchups. But at the same time, promoters do not want to pay Jackson State that type of money. So that's why some of these deals fall through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bringing 15. I think somebody in the on X said that South Carolina State and Jackson State needed to do a home and home. To that, I said, no, that would not benefit Jackson State to do a home and home with South Carolina State. Why? Because South Carolina State is not traveling to Jackson. Now, Jackson gonna travel to South Carolina State deep. There probably would be just as many people at South Carolina State for a Jackson State, South Carolina State at their stadium as there is for homecoming. Like, that's how packed out it would be. But do you think South Carolina State would come to Jackson, Mr. Ford?
They don't travel in the MEAC.
You know who else don't travel, Mr. Ford?
Mm-hmm.
Prairie View.
Okay.
I said, why can't you do South Carolina State and Jackson State and Charlotte? And that person said, we don't want that matchup. Why would we do that? Mr. Ford said Prairie View needs to be at the Southern Heritage Classic. They don't even like playing black schools like that. Is that going to be one of their in-conference games?
If it were, yes, it would be in conference because they're in the same division with Alcorn.
Yeah, it would have to be an in-conference because he said that we need to be playing quality schools. We're 5 years behind. All right, moving on. Let's see who else is on here on this schedule.
I like that Hampton Howard matchup at Audi Field. I think that's going to be very exciting.
Is that the real HU Classic?
Yeah, that's going to be in DC.
Truth and it says Truth and Service Classic, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to be
I think that homecoming,
that's a good game.
Florida A&M versus Alabama State is a huge game.
Oh, that's going to be
for homecoming.
Yeah, it really is. It could be record setting.
Huge in the sense that FAMU has become a lot of folks' homecoming games this year.
Yeah, they're Alabama State's homecoming, and they're also Jackson State's homecoming. Yeah. But I'm looking for a massive crowd at that, maybe 30 plus.
So three of the games in October are homecoming games. So that should be really exciting. And then, of course, you have Southern versus FAMU. So they got some good games.
The only thing with the Southern FAMU game, it's not a night game. Traditionally, Southern and FAMU is a night game. That game was, I think it was 3 p.m.
It's in the middle of October. No, it's on Halloween night. Folks want to go trick-or-treating, Mr. Ford.
Well, I guess you could say that. Okay. But traditionally, that game has always been a night game. That's been a night game.
Actually, all of their games are at 3 in October, and all of the games in August are at 7. So you know what? I want to commend HBCUGo for listening, right, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, they did. They really outdid themselves.
They listened in terms of these night games because it's too hot.
Yeah.
I think so here's an interesting matchup, which of course, so we have North Carolina Central versus Texas Southern. Edward Waters versus Jackson State University for the Hope Labor Day Classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully they have the band again. I think that Hope Labor Day Classic is actually going to be a nice showing because it is a night game. So I think people will show out.
Oh yeah.
For that. Yeah. No, they don't have no vans to transport fans with. They don't have a van. Alcorn State versus UAPB. You said that they need a different matchup for that.
In Memphis, yeah.
Well, Tennessee State's out. I don't know who else you could think. South Carolina State.
Like I said, there's some other teams that might be interested. Like I said, you're in a major city. You're in Memphis, Tennessee. You're in a beautiful stadium, Liberty Bowl. Okay. I think they could get someone. They could get someone that could make that a very lucrative game.
South Carolina State versus Bethune-Cookman. What do you think about that matchup? Now, those are the reigning. You kept on talking about who's a SWAC champion. South Carolina State's the reigning national champion, Mr. Ford. You didn't say nothing about them.
What do you mean? What do you?
I'm saying in terms of who you want to see matched up.
I just said that they could be one of the teams that they could bring to Memphis to play Alcorn.
I just think that folks should just do what works. If you was getting 50,000 for Jackson State versus Tennessee State, Why would you not give them what they need? Well, I don't know. Things is probably going to be changing in Memphis very soon, Mr. Ford. You see, they
Mhm.
voted the folks out in the only black district that they had in Memphis. They got rid of them today.
Yeah, I did hear something about that.
So I was told that South Carolina State and Bethune-Cookman matchup was actually like an old MEAC rivalry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they played for years. I think Bethune-Cookman had a 40-year run in the MEAC, I think. They joined the MEAC, I think, with Florida A&M.
So, Mr. Ford, the
Mhm.
running joke, it said Bayless says the schools with APR issues don't need late night games. Assignments are due by 11:59 p.m. So you
Oh,
heard
okay.
about the other schools, Mr. Ford.
Mhm.
What do you have to say about that, Mr. Ford?
Oh,
I need you to give me, let me pull this up right
mhm.
now. I'm about to read this press release to you before you
Okay.
fall asleep on me.
Okay.
So, did you see that Alabama A&M
Got a
received
waiver?
penalties? No, that's not it. Alabama A&M, they got a waiver. Yeah, they
For the
got a
football
waiver for
team.
one of them. They
For the
got a
football
waiver for
team.
one. They ain't
Yeah,
get
they
it
got
for
a
the
waiver for the
basketball.
football team. No, they didn't get one for the basketball, but they got a waiver for the football team.
All right, let's read this because what is going on, Mr. Ford?
Mhm.
Alabama A&M University acknowledges. Where is Jay White at? Is Jay White in here? The NCAA's confirmation that its men's basketball program will be subject to a postseason ban because of APR penalties. So this might be why there was a switch, right, Mr. Ford? They got a
Mhm.
new basketball coach at the end of the year.
Yeah, they got Coach Jackson from Grambling, right?
Yep, it says the APR deficiencies that led to this penalty stem from multiple years of challenges in academic oversight and student athlete retention under previous leadership. While those outcomes cannot be changed, they have provided a clear mandate for improvement. Um, and then we're obviously disappointed for our students because they've been working hard and deserve the opportunity to compete in the postseason, but we understand what we are and what needs to be done. That was Coach Jackson, of course, that says that. And then, as you said, they did get, which I don't see the press release for that. The football team did get a postseason ban and then it was waived. Mr. Ford, what do you think about that? You just think they should do away with APR, right, Mr. Ford?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah. I agree.
So my only question is this, Mr. Ford. Out of all of the SWAC schools that uh when we talk about in terms of athletic revenue, I
Mhm.
want to say Jackson State is probably like Valley, UAPB, Alcorn, and then Jackson State. Like Jackson State, literally, in terms of how much athletic revenue like we get for all of our programs, we're kind of
Mhm.
low on the totem pole, Mr. Ford. So
Okay.
why is it that Jackson State is able to keep their head above water, but schools that have, or at least their alums say that they do, have resources or rich alums or this, why are they struggling?
Well, it means that you're doing a great job of planning. You have a commitment. All your people, your stakeholders have bought in. Like I said, you got solid leadership. Whereas some of these other schools don't have it. There's too much people who have not bought in. They're constantly moving people in and out. AD for 1 year, AD for 2 years, AD for
Ooh,
3 years, AD for 1 year. So that's what you
I
have
let
going.
I forgot they got all that money from Kenzie. I want to say they got $80 million, didn't they? From that Bezos lady, the Amazon ex-wife lady. She's giving away all these millions and millions of dollars.
Right now, who you, I'm asking who you said
She gives away
Oh yeah, well, I know about said
unrestricted funds. Like
because I know she
there
gave
are
Morgan State a
no
lot of money,
restrictions.
and I think she gave some of the people in the AU Center some money. She gave Prairie View, I think, some money because
38 million,
yeah,
I believe. No, that was to Alabama State. So she gave 38 million to Alabama State, 63 million to Prairie View. Let me see how much she gave to Alabama A&M. Oh, I can't find it. Dre, here's Dre. Who got 80 million? Somebody did get close to 80 million. 63 million in North Carolina A&T, 63 million in Prairie View. I don't know, Mr. Ford. These are unrestricted funds, and compliance literally costs maybe 100,000. Do you know that Bowie State is cutting staff because they say that they're
$18
broke?
million in debt. I think I saw something about.
And McKinsey just gave them some money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What are y'all doing? Eating it? Are y'all eating it? What is going on? I was like, she gave 50 million. Just last year, she gave 50 million. And she gave them 25 million in 2020. What are they doing? Eating it? I know that they have expenses. And Mr. Ford, didn't FAMU get 237 million from somebody?
Wait a minute. I thought that was a fraud.
It's a joke, Mr. Ford. It was a joke, Mr. Ford.
Okay. All right.
But my point is this. So I'm done cracking the jokes. Time out for the jokes, Mr. Ford. So this is what I said needs to happen. So
Right.
I said that what they need to do is they need to have, you know how they're having football camps,
Yeah.
basketball camps all through the summer. They need to have what we call a compliance camp. Compliance camp. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Send your folks to Jackson State, and you're going to get some crash courses into how Jackson State is able to make sure that these students are in compliance and they're graduating.
That sounds like a plan to me.
And I'm not even trying to say that Jackson State is the poster for it, but let's just keep it a buck. I think that Jackson State had 50 players to leave when Dion left, 50 players. And then by the summer there was at least 15 more players that entered into the portal, right? So I think that we had 65 to 70 players leave in the first year. And we have never faltered below 930 since Prime's exit. And we had a pretty big second wave of turnovers as well. After that first year, we had some turnover. So, Jackson State, and that's why I say that Jackson State, I'm not trying to brag or boast, but that's why I say that it's a premier FCS program, because not only are we winning, but we're also making sure that these young men graduate.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yes, Dre, we need a compliance camp. These folks need to learn how to certify their students. I don't know if they're like, so what I learned was that once you graduate from and you get your bachelor's degree, you are no longer eligible for a Pell Grant. So I think some of these people are like prolonging the credits of some of these young men so that they can continue to get a Pell Grant. Dre said it's not our business, Mr. Ford, but isn't the reputation of the SWAC on the line when you have 3 schools that have postseason bans in football?
I mean, yeah, it's not a good thing. And I agree with you. I think that what you said is a plan. If I would, I think you should write down what you're saying, and as soon as you get the ear of the commissioner, you should say that to him.
Mr. Ford,
That
I do not have
yeah,
a direct line to Commissioner McClellan.
well, I don't know. You never know. I've heard that he does listen to your show, from what I've
I
been
ain't
told.
heard that. I
Yeah,
ain't
I
heard.
listen.
Um, okay, well, Commissioner McClellan, the SWAC needs a compliance camp.
Mhm. And then put it in writing.
Matter of fact, they can do it right before SWAC Media Day. Make them
Mhm.
come the night before. That's when all the ADs are there anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
Dre
that,
said
and,
they're gonna be sleep in the workshop. Y'all better learn how to get these kids graduating.
well, according to the media, the SWAC media football media day is one of the best in the country.
They aren't lying because I
Yeah.
didn't know. Well, I didn't know because I wasn't really that in tune with it. But I went and looked and I said, "Oh my God, this is god awful. We need to be more grateful." The CAAs is like online, Mr. Ford. Theirs is digital.
Oh, yeah. So,
And it's like, I really don't think folks understand the experience that you get as a student athlete. You get chose to represent your school and you get fresh to death and you're taking pictures and you got all this media interviewing you.
yeah.
It's exciting. But
So at the last one, did they have over 200 media outlets there? How
Mr.
many?
Ford, I don't even really know because I'm gonna just be honest with you. I get my little table and I really don't leave. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
I am so
Yeah.
like, let me go get somebody to interview and bring them back to my to the live. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just
Well, if
shooting
someone on
left
the
and right.
chat has that information, how many media outlets came to the
I
SWAC football media day last year? Was it over 200 or was it
like
less?
for me, like personally, if I could guess how many like HBCU, like if you had to say like the podcasters and stuff,
Yeah,
they were all there. Yeah,
yeah.
they were all there. So that was like 30, probably 30. I would say maybe there was 125 to 150 there. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I would definitely say that. I was not at the SWAC Media Day when Dion was there, so I don't have anything to compare it to in terms of how many people are there, but I know it does get noisy in there. That's why I always get my little corner set up and hope for the best and hope that nobody sits beside me or whatever. But I really feel like the experience is really, really exciting. The food is good. I don't really have any complaints about SWAC Media Day. I wish I could go to SWAC basketball Media Day, but of course, that's usually when my son is in school, so I don't
Right.
usually get to go to that one. But I didn't know that the CAAs was digital. Like you do online interviews digitally with the students. That's why I don't like doing interviews online because your camera can mess up or anything. Anything can happen. All right, Mr. Ford. Last but not least, guess who ranked Mr. Ford?
I'm sorry. Say that
Preseason
again.
rankings from Craig Haley. So you know the how the FCS, the people responsible for the Jerry Rice Award, the Buck
Yeah.
Buchanan Award, all that stuff. So Craig Haley is a contributor of that, and he did his top 25. And guess who is on the list?
Okay, tell me who was on the list
FCS football, like the analytics for it. Just take a guess, Mr. Ford.
from the SWAC or from the MEAC?
Who do you think's on the list? Yeah.
Was it South Carolina State?
Man, please. You know ain't nobody. It wasn't nobody from the MEAC.
Okay, so was it Jackson or Prairie View? Or was it Jackson or Prairie View?
It was Jackson State. It was Jackson State.
Okay, and what number did he have them listed at?
23.
Okay, had them listed. And so who was ahead of Jackson?
I don't know the name of none of those programs, Mr. Ford. They don't matter.
Oh, okay.
I think those are the Wildcat. No, those are the Bobcats. I really don't know. A purple Bobcat. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know they have the Montana Grizz is number 2. Yeah. The Jackrabbits are that's South Dakota State. I know that one. Illinois State, I think, is number 4. Yeah, 7 is Villanova. 8 is Tarleton. 16 is Stephen F. Austin. 15 is Lamar. 14 is Austin P.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Monmouth is number 24. 19 is Selah. Tennessee Tech is number 17.
Okay.
Yes, Bama State was eliminated.
Who is that now?
Bama State was eliminated from softball.
Oh, okay.
You're saying okay, but we're very, very close in the Commissioner's Cup.
Right. So y'all are you in first place right now?
Yeah, we have 117 points. Alabama State has 109.
Okay, so baseball's coming up next week, right?
Yeah.
And track and field is when?
Oh, I believe that's next week too.
So next week's going to help determine who will win the Commissioner's Cup.
Yep, it'll bring it out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Mr. Ford, what do you think about Jackson State being the only HBCU to hit that top 25?
Well, they I guess they're letting you know that they expect great things out of Jackson in the SWAC and as they compete for that Celebration Bowl. So I guess they're picking Jackson.
Do you think Craig Haley knows that we're playing Edward Waters and Tuskegee?
Of course he knows that.
Oh, he knows it, and he still ranked us at 23.
Yeah, he's looking. First and foremost, they're looking at the coaching staff. They're looking at tradition. They're looking at history. They're looking at your personnel, the guys that you got there and the guys that you're bringing in. And he believes that you're the best. Because you said they were the only HBC school that was ranked, right?
Yeah, the only one.
Okay, so that's what that means. He feels like Jackson should win it again. That Jackson should win the SWAC and win the MEAC. Win the SWAC and win the Celebration Bowl.
I believe that too wholeheartedly, Mr. Ford. I agree with Craig Haley's that we should be ranked.
Oh yeah.
Because where does the road to the SWAC championship? Who does it run through, Mr. Ford?
I mean, of course, it has to come through the vet. It's like I've said this, over and over. This season, 2026 is going to be more exciting than 2025. And 2025 was a very exciting season. 2026 is going to be even more exciting. We're going to have more classic games. Uh, and like I said, kudos to HBCUGo because they picked a lot of great games to show to America, And yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be a
I
great season.
love the way that HBCUGo does backstories
Yeah,
minus the like trauma porn that they do. I don't like when they do trauma porn. Like when they're like a woe is me story for some of the football players. I don't like those. But I love the backstories that they do and the angles and all that. And I'm excited, especially I think Jackson State has 2 games on there. We have Edward Waters, and then of course the Mississippi Valley game is going to be a huge game for in Itabena, Mississippi. Or is it Itabena or is it in the vet this year? I think maybe are we going to Itabena? I think we're going to Itabena.
Hey, so who's showing the Boombox Classic? Is that ESPN2 or is that
I
who's showing that?
really honestly think that that's going to be, and they're going to pick that up, ESPN. I really do think that.
Yeah.
I know that the
Yeah.
SWAC, I
So
know
they
SWAC
haven't
TV,
turned
we're
out their
trying.
schedule yet. Can you look that up? Can you look up ESPN football schedule?
You do know that even if they don't at first, that they will pick it up, and they'll change the time too. I don't like that, but anyway, I think that SWAC TV is trying to have more games on there.
So there's no way you can look up and see if ESPN has put out their schedule, their football schedule.
College football, let me see.
Yeah, see if they
I
put
don't
out
think so
their.
because if they
Because usually,
Mr.
when it comes to
Ford, did you hear about the hantavirus that they got going on?
okay, did I hear about who?
I don't think they have them out yet.
Oh, they don't.
Hantavirus. No, I don't have none of the information. I don't have the college football season for that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not out yet, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's the Boombox Classic. You know that they're gonna have that on ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that going to be ESPN2, ESPNU, or is it just going to be ESPN?
I think that that particular one that they will definitely pick that one up. Okay, we play Valley at the vet.
Okay, so you play Valley.
Yeah. I think I think they usually pick up those games. We only have 2 games on HBCUGo, and those were the games. So I'm guessing more than likely most of Jackson State's games will be either on ESPN or SWAC TV.
Right.
I know they did have a lot less HBCU games on ESPN Plus. Well, SWAC games. Did you notice that
I thought
last
that
year?
all of Jackson's games last year were on ESPN.
No, I'm saying like the majority of our games were on SWAC TV.
Oh, they were?
No, I'm saying like SWAC football, period. Like the majority of they have reduced the amount of games for SWAC being on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking that, usually ESPN tries to show all of Jackson's games.
Right.
Yeah.
I know for sure probably they're definitely probably gonna get that FAMU game.
Yeah, the homecoming game. Yeah,
FAMU versus Jackson State, they're definitely going to get that one.
yeah. What about the Alcorn game? The
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to try to get that one too. That was a big
Alcorn game. What about your game against? We said the Boombox Classic, your homecoming game, your game against Alcorn. Okay. Wonder who's going to show the game against Alabama A&M? Because that's down in Mobile, right?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Gulf Coast Classic?
Yeah, yeah. Who will
Probably
show
Swag
that?
TV might pick that
Yeah,
one up.
Swag TV. Okay.
You know what? I'm surprised HBCUGo didn't pick that one up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I am
I'm
too.
actually surprised.
Mhm.
So I don't know how the rights go. I was under the impression that ESPN had first dibs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
HBCUGo had second dibs.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's why I'm
then
surprised with what I'm surprised about is that HBCUGo announces their schedule, but we don't know the ESPN schedule. I'm surprised about that.
mm-hmm. That is interesting that we don't know it yet. I think they're still negotiating a little bit of stuff.
You know, and that was something I meant to tell you, and
Oh, tell me.
I wanted to tell you. Listen, the national media this week wrote major articles on two SWAC legends, and I wanted you to pull those people up. The
Okay,
first one was a lady who graduated from Tuskegee, and she became world famous as a track coach at Prairie View, and she became the Olympic coach for track and field. Her name was Barbara Jacket. Could you pull her up? Barbara Jacket. The national media.
Barbara Jacket.
Yeah, that was her name. And they did a major article on her this week.
Barbara Jacket. Oh,
yeah,
I see.
Barbara Jacket.
Education, Tuskegee University, and Prairie View A&M.
Mm-hmm.
You said that they just did a article on her recently?
Yeah, it was this week. Yeah, so they did an article on her, and it was a really good article. It was a really good article. I was really shocked, to be honest with you.
They don't know her. Who did it? Who did the article, Mr. Ford?
I don't know if it was USA Today.
Okay, Google. Let me go to Google.
Yeah, Google Barbara Jacket. Just put in Barbara Jacket, track and field coach at Prairie View.
Barbara Jacket.
Yeah, Barbara Jacket. She was like I said, a graduate of Tuskegee.
I don't see any news article, Mr. Ford.
You don't see anything? Okay, the next one was a guy from Texas Southern. His name, I think it was Jim Hines. He was an Olympian. He ran at Texas Southern.
Hines. Texas Southern.
Jim Hines, I think his name. He ran in the 68 Olympics.
Hines, the 1968 Olympic 100-meter champion and world record holder, died June 3rd. He was 76. He won the Mexico City 100-meter final in 9.95 seconds.
All right. That was an article done on him this week.
Where are you getting these articles from?
You know, they come across my phone. And then I try to read them. When I saw it, they was talking about these were SWAC people. That's when I tried to read it. But one was done on Barbara Jacket. The other one was done on Jim Hines. And they were talking about how in 64, the talk of the world was Bob Hayes. And Bob Hayes made the decision to go to the Dallas Cowboys. And then there was a vacuum. And this guy, Jim Hines, filled the vacuum. He became the top sprinter in the 100 and I
I
want to say
found it, the 220 yards. It says a native of Arkansas. He graduated from McClemens High School in Oakland, California. He won the 1964 state titles in the 100-yard and 220-yard after equaling the national prep record in the 100-yard with a 9.4 at the Fresno Relays, taking his prodigious talents to Texas Southern University and legendary coach Stan Wright. Hines quickly made his mark on national scene as a freshman, qualifying for the U.S. team that would compete in dual meets against the Soviet Union, Poland, and West Germany, with a runner-up finish at the AAU championships in the 220-yard and a fourth-place effort in the 100-yard. So he stayed at Texas Southern for the next 2 seasons, and he won back-to-back NAIA championships in the 100-yard and added a 220-yard crown in 1967. Dang, this is right around the civil rights era, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. You remember that at the 68 Olympics, all sprints were won by blacks, American blacks. That's one of the reasons the Soviet Union developed these steroids and other what do you call it? These things that make you perform better, because of the dominance of the black athlete from America during the 68 Olympics. That's when they start giving those athletes drugs. And it was because of the 68 Olympics.
Wait, they started giving, you're talking about the non-black athletes? They started giving them steroids?
They started giving them to the Russian athletes, to the East Germans, and I don't know if it was West Germans, but it was done because in the 68 Olympics, all of the track and field events, especially all the sprints, were won by American blacks. And so the Russians and the Germans started coming up with concoctions of what we would call drugs to give to the athletes. That's why in 72, many of the East German athletes and many of the Russian athletes have been given drugs to make them perform better.
Well, I knew that they were pumping or whatever, but I didn't know. I do know that they said that America was at a disadvantage because Americans were cheating because they were using black athletes. I know they did say something to that effect.
But like I'm saying that in 68, all of the sprints were won by black athletes from America. And so to counter that, what the Russians did, like somebody just said, they went into the creation of performing enhancing drugs.
GHB, YQZ. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 72 was supposed to be the first year that these people started sending those Russian and German athletes out there who had been given performance enhancing drugs. Yeah. But it was because of the dominance of the black American athletes in the 68 Olympics in Mexico City. Yeah.
Mr. Ford, we can have some big worldwide, what is it, the World Cup coming here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this summer. Yeah.
Did you hear about the hantavirus, Mr. Ford?
Yeah. Was that the one on the ship?
Yes. They said that it's coming, that it's in America now.
Yeah, we'll probably have to go through a shutdown because this guy has basically destroyed the medical world, especially those doctors who were doing research. You know, one day he fired like 20 or 25 research doctors here at the CDC here in Atlanta. So we might have to go through another shutdown.
You think it'll get that bad? They said it's not like, they said that it's not like COVID unless it mutates, that it's not as contagious as COVID, allegedly.
Right. Listen, I was about to say, we'll see. We'll see.
Mask up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get ready to have your mask on, Mr. Ford, because, you know, being around kids, they be sneezing and snotting and doing all that anyway. Good Lord. I'd be like, oh, it's just allergies. No, there will be no more stimulus checks.
No, stimulus checks are going to the billionaires now.
Yeah. If you're a billionaire or if you
Yeah,
know market
yeah,
manipulation, because every Sunday night or
yeah.
Saturday and Sunday night, Trump comes out with something to manipulate the market.
Well, like I said, his whole thing is to make sure that there's a transfer of all of the money in America to the hands of the billionaires. That's one thing he's good at.
Transfer some. You can't only do that for so long though before we collapse, right, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, well, Dr. Umar is saying that America's going to go broke in the with this war in the Persian Gulf. Because I told you this before. He's saying that the government has already spent $50 billion on that war already, and this is what he's saying that they're going
I
to.
don't even know we have. I don't even think it's actual money though, Mr. Ford. Like we don't actually have $50 billion.
Well, you add it
So it's not
to
like the
your
money is
what do you call
the
it?
deficit. The
Your
deficit.
deficit. Yeah, your deficit is like something like 37 trillion or something. So they'll add it to that. But someday somebody's going to call the debt, or they'll do like they're doing over there now, where they would de-dollarize. The dollar will be worth nothing. Everything will be gold, silver, and the Chinese yuan. I think it's called the Chinese yuan, the Chinese dollar.
Silver and gold. I'd
Mhm.
rather have Jesus than silver and gold. Unstoppable said, "Are we going to get another stimulus?"
I
No,
doubt
we
it.
won't be getting a stimulus check.
No, what you're going to get is a lot of sorrows, hard times.
Ford.
Mhm.
All right, so before we leave, hey y'all, it's getting bad out here with these gas prices.
Oh, it
Gas
should
is,
get
I think,
worse. It
like
probably get worse.
around. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you a couple of ways to save money on gas. If you
Mhm.
have a 7-Eleven on the 7th of every month and the 11th of every month, you can get 50 cents off.
Mhm.
And you can stack all your available gas rewards. So
Mhm.
today, Mr. Ford, I paid $2.67 a gallon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm paying I think 441 at my little station.
Right.
Now
So,
I get a little break when I go to BJ's.
oh, you do.
Yeah. Mhm.
So if you do you have a 7-Eleven near you? Are you familiar with 7-Eleven, Mr.
Yeah,
Ford?
a lot of our 7-Elevens have gone out.
Oh
That
my
was really big
God.
in the 70s and 80s, and they started going out in the 90s. Yeah, 7-Eleven used to be really big,
Well,
and we had
the
7-Eleven, Magic Mart, all of that.
dang, that's
Mhm,
crazy. Well,
mhm,
I'm sorry to hear that, but if you do have a 7-Eleven, y'all in the chat, I'm gonna show you how to get $1.60 off per gallon on your next gas fill up. So basically, what you do is um you type all in, which is like all caps and all together.
mhm.
And this is not a scam either. I literally went and got gas today. So don't think it's a scam. It's not a scam. I would never scam you guys. I'm not into that. So basically what you do is you type all in to 711
Mhm.
all in, and that's going to give you 50 cents off, which you should be able to use on the 11th. Um then you text fuel to that same number, so it'll send you something like one of those opt-in offers or whatever, and you text them fuel Fuel 30, Save, and you download the app and you should be able to get like $1.50 off per gallon. It's gonna be only one save up, but that's a lot of money to save now that gas is $4.
Yeah, that's in certain. I think some places it's what 6 and 7.
And it says you have claimed an extra. So when you do save, you get an extra 25 cents off a gallon on your next 3 fills. When you do Fuel 30, you get an extra 30 cents off a gallon on your next fill. Stars Win, I don't think you get anything on that one. I think that one's expired. But anyway, I got $1.50 off of my gas today, Mr. Ford, per gallon.
And by the way, who won the game between the Cavaliers and the Detroit Pistons tonight?
I think Cleveland lost, Mr. Ford.
I'm sorry. That's Miss Whitley. Are you a Cleveland Cavalier fan? Yeah. Is Miss Whitley a Cavalier fan?
It says 3 Cavs to blame for tough game 2 loss to the Pistons.
What did they say? So the Pistons won?
They said James Harden did terrible today. The Pistons blew him out.
He looked old. In the first game, he looked old.
You know, his knees ain't the same, Mr. Ford. His knees.
Yeah, how many years has he been in the league?
Like at least 10.
I was thinking maybe 15 or more. Hey, somebody, how many years has James Harden been in the NBA?
He needs to retire, Mr. Ford.
He's looking worn out. I can tell you that.
Well, it's probably playing them back to back. He's been there 17 seasons.
17 seasons, yeah. That's a lot.
Miss Whitley said, I'm a fan of wherever LeBron is at the moment. She's an LA Lakers fan, Mr. Ford, right now.
Yeah. My days with the Lakers was Magic Johnson and Kareem Jabbar.
Oh, Mr. Ford, my son, well, he'll tell you a little bit about it on Saturday, but he had to do a book report, and he did it on Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harden is always a terrible playoff player. Hogs the ball too much.
Yeah,
he said he's a ball hog, Mr. Ford.
Well, he is. He would score 50 down in Houston, but he wanted to shoot every shot. Yeah. But he's really looked bad in the series against he looked old. He's looked old and looked bad.
He looks lethargic.
Yeah. Yeah. They really did well when they would sit him down.
When they'll make him, he's probably demanding to play because it is the playoffs. And like you said,
right now in his career, he's a mercenary. I'd be surprised if he's with them next year.
Dang, you saying he's a mercenary? He goes wherever the money is.
Well, where somebody needs him. Because I don't think Durant will be back in Houston. He might. I really don't. I don't think he'll be back.
Oh, I forgot to show y'all McAllister Whiteside. Dre is over here being messy. He said they might as well build a new dorm. It's crazy seeing a boneless McAllister Whiteside. Yeah, they might as well. We're getting they refused to give us the money to build a new dorm. So we basically had to gut McAllister Whiteside and just renovate it.
Okay.
Miss Whitley said, wait, who looks old? I don't think he said that he looked old. I think he said he was playing old.
Yeah, that's James Harden. He hasn't looked good these first 2 games.
They may as well built a new dorm. It's crazy seeing a boneless McAllister Whiteside. But it does say that with the renovations, Mr. Ford, that we'll have 335 beds.
Okay. Okay.
You know, our dorms are like gender dorms, right? We have girl dorms and we have boy dorms. They don't have that at like Mizzou. It was co-ed dorms.
Right. Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Has Kevin Durant made any team better in the last 5 years? Dang. Mr. Ford, has Kevin Durant made any team better? I thought he didn't he help the Warriors?
Well, I was about to say he helped the Warriors win a championship, but how many years ago was that? Because he's been at Brooklyn, he's been with Phoenix, he's been with Houston. Who am I missing?
Isn't he another what did you just call Harden?
A mercenary.
Isn't Durant a mercenary too?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to come back to Houston. He might. I'd be surprised.
You think LeBron will retiring after this year, or he's going to try to get his youngest in the NBA too?
No, I think they're trying to get LeBron maybe back to Cleveland.
Oh, to close out his last season?
Yeah, get him a farewell tour with Cleveland.
Why?
I guess, that's where it all started, the Cavaliers. Remember, he came out of high school and went straight to the Cavaliers.
He's not going to want to play with Harden. That would definitely not work out.
Harden probably won't be there. The way he's looking right now, they'll probably get rid of Harden.
His poor knees just giving out.
Yeah.
I think Bryce is coming out this year.
Yeah, he was at Arizona somewhere, right? When he with
he's going to go to the draft this year so that his daddy, that is the greatest thing ever. Your dad gets you drafted, gets both of his sons drafted to the LA Lakers. Well, you said that they'll go to the Cleveland Cavaliers, but I mean, of course he'll go to the Cleveland Cavaliers as long as they let his sons be on the team, right?
Yeah, he'll probably, I think this guy, Bryce, is better than Bronny. I think Bryce is a better player.
All right, y'all. Saturday, Mr. Ford, we're celebrating the moderators.
Okay.
On my channel.
Okay, is that Miss Whitley? Who's the moderators?
Yeah, Miss Whitley is only one of them.
Okay, Miss Whitley,
Miss Shanetta. I think Lady T's a moderator, I think.
Okay, yeah.
But mainly Miss Whitley, Miss Shanetta. I don't know who else mods on here. Let me see. I have a lot.
This is Mother's Day's weekend, right?
Yes, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't even come on. Should I still come on?
You need to come on. What are you talking about?
See this, huh?
What do you want to do? Go AWOL again?
No, Mr. Ford, I do not plan on going AWOL now.
See, when you go AWOL, we got to listen to that guy that from Prairie View. What's his name? Lionel.
Don't nobody want to listen to him. He don't even want to listen to
AWOL.
Mr. Ford, do you know what he does over at that channel? They clip parts of our show and they talk about us.
Well, that's okay.
So if I'm not on, they don't have nothing to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I'm not on, they won't have nothing to talk about. They won't have nothing to clip because that's what they do. They clip. parts that I said.
Oh, okay.
Lady T, yeah, Lady T, Thetis, Brandy, uh, Miss Shanetta, Whitley, and we're going to have a moderator. So we're going to be listening to some music, Mr. Ford. Do
Ooh,
you know what today is?
that's
Anniversary.
one of them guys just passed away. That's Raphael Sadiq in them.
I didn't know he passed away.
No, not him. The other guy. I think his name was Wiggins. He was that's what that group was called. Raphael Sadiq and them went to Alabama A&M. What was the group called?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. They were big. Wait a minute. Um,
Y'all in the chat, tell Mr. Ford's answer.
what's Raphael Sadiq's group? You remember he had
Music
Tony,
Soul
Tony, Tony. That was it.
Child?
Tony, Tony, Tony. That was it. Yeah. Yeah.
Bang, bang, shots fired. Mr. Ford is about to let you miss one show. Listen, they said Golden Corral is going to be packed. What about
Oh, you know,
Piccadilly's? Do Jackson still got Piccadilly's?
man, they going out of business here with us. We still
Oh,
got one over here at Greenbrier, but a lot of
Piccadilly's is
them,
so good in Jackson. Oh
yeah,
my
but they going
God,
out of
at the
business.
church.
Listen, they folding up, baby. Piccadilly's is folding up.
Folding up like laundry chairs. They need to have
Yes,
a
they are.
black person just open up a soul food restaurant. Oh, they
Oh, we
said
got plenty.
Piccadilly's is still there. I don't remember Piccadilly's being on I-55 North. I remember Piccadilly's being right down the street from Jackson State. But okay.
Yeah, we had at one time we had them all over the metro, but
They
they
gonna be
folding up.
packed this weekend for Mother's Day.
Huh?
I said they gonna be packed for Mother's Day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Piccadilly's and Golden
Definitely.
Corral.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wiggins, Mr. Ford.
Yeah,
Dwayne
that's
Wiggins.
he was with Raphael Sadiq and them. They were called Tony, Tony, Tony. They were
Don't
something else,
ask me
man.
that question because I don't know.
You don't remember them?
I mean, now that you're saying Tony, Tony, Tone, I'm
Yeah,
like,
Tony.
okay,
Because I was about to tell you, if you don't remember them, then you definitely a YN.
a white nigga?
No, a YN.
Who told you what a YN mean, Mr.
I
Ford?
don't
You
know.
and them kids. Them kids need to stop teaching you stuff like
I
that.
know it, but I said that
Why
because Tony, Tony,
are
Tony.
they teaching you stuff
Oh,
like
that
that,
guy was.
Mr. Ford?
Don't listen. That guy, listen. Raphael Sadiq, that guy was good. Yeah. Listen, they were from them guys was originally from New York, but they came south to go to school at Alabama A&M. That's what. Remember the girl from In Vogue, Dawn. Dawn.
Yeah.
All them were friends from. They were all students at Alabama A&M.
You said
No,
Raphael died?
no. Wiggins died. Raphael is
Okay,
still going
Dwayne
strong.
Wiggins died. Okay,
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
Raphael
Wiggins died.
Sadiq's
Yeah,
brother.
Raphael Sadiq is
Okay.
still. You didn't see Ruff. You remember when they did the Grammys? And that girl, what's her name? Lauren Hill turned it out. She
Yes,
had,
but I don't want to be a YN. I don't
yeah,
know
but
because I don't really.
listen, you gonna be one. You don't know who Tony is because they were dominant.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to play one of their songs on
Yeah, you
Saturday.
got to play.
I
Listen,
am
play.
not.
Wait a
No,
minute. Wait a minute.
I'm not playing no songs tonight, Mr. Ford.
Okay, I was about to say because they had one.
We playing it on Saturday in
Wait a
honor
minute. It was
of.
called Anniversary. That's what it was called. Anniversary.
I just sang it. Do
Yeah.
you know what
No, not today. Oh,
today?
that was a classic.
It's an anniversary.
Anniversary. Yeah, that was a classic. That was Raphael Sadiq. Yeah. Yeah, that was Raphael Sadiq.
Not you're gonna be a YN. Mr. Ford, you better stay away from them badass kids.
I'm serious.
I said, wait, a YN, a white? Like what you talking about?
Yeah, that's right, brother.
Feels
Lay your head on
good.
my pillow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It feels
Yeah.
good.
See this girl, Dawn Robinson. Dawn was she was a student at Alabama A&M. So was Raphael Sadiq. All of them were yeah, they were all at Alabama A&M. Yeah.
Oh God, y'all leave me alone because Mr. Ford just low key called me a YN. Oh, Cindy Heron. Who's Cindy Heron? They're from Oakland,
She,
California.
now somebody tell who was Cindy Aaron?
Right, that wasn't low key. That was hot. Lucy Pearl.
Yeah, I
Who is
remember
Lucy
Lucy Pearl, man.
Pearl? They're making fun of me, Mr. Ford, in the chat.
What they making for? What?
Talking
What
about
happened?
get the game up, YN. I do know who Tony is. I know who that is. Cindy was a part of En Vogue, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, that's now she went to Prairie View, right? Is that the one went to Prairie View or Texas Southern?
Terry from En Vogue went to Prairie View.
Right. Okay. And somebody went to Texas Southern, didn't it?
Okay. Oh, HBCU alum. Y'all better be talented.
Oh yeah,
Cindy
always.
was from En Vogue also.
Yeah. Listen. When En Vogue first broke, man, everybody was in love with them girls, man. The worst thing they did was they transferred all of their assets down to Miami. And then when you go to Miami, that's where you get turned out at down there.
Well, that's what we'll be doing on Saturday. So bring your ginger ale, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, okay.
Write down two or three songs. We're gonna be cutting up with the we'll probably be Saturday. That should be right around the time that we'll go over the softball, whoever
Uh-huh.
wins.
Yeah. Okay.
And my lovin' never gonna get it.
Yeah, that's right. That was En Vogue.
Never gonna get it.
Oh, they listen,
No,
them
you're
girls
never
was
gonna get
awesome when
it.
they broke.
No, you're
Oh,
never gonna get it.
and remember, every girl had the ability to be a lead singer. They were really good, man. But but now my personal opinion was the death knell of that group was leave. I think they were based out of Texas, and they transferred everything to Miami.
Mr. Ford,
Uh,
you done tore this live up.
what happened?
Don't Let Go. One played in Juice in 1991.
Oh, them
Terry
girls.
Lewis
Oh,
did a great job singing Black Butterfly for Prairie View before she left the audition, not knowing it wasn't for a new group.
and remember, Dawn disclosed that she was living in her car. Did you know about that?
Oh my goodness. Somebody just put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
and she was saying that she would take a bath at the YMCA or at one of them, what you call LA Fitness or something. It was, man.
That's so sad.
Yeah, because Dawn was talented now. Dawn was beautiful and talented. But I think Dawn got, she had that dope got her too. She was on that dope.
Oh no. Need to leave
Yeah.
that dope alone.
Leave
You
that
know
dope
what?
alone. Yeah.
They got a lot of, like you said, they was getting a lot of those musicians.
Well,
It was so
um,
sad just during that time to control them. Especially women.
yeah, they've always done that to us. They took the money, they gave us fame and the dope, the women, and then they took your money and you would make $100 million off of your single or your album, and then 5 years down the road, you broke, you ain't got nothing. That happened with Tony Braxton. That happened with what's the girl that everybody loved? She came after Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Mariah had an album, sold 100 million of them, made $100 million,
Oh,
and then she was broke. They use us like that.
Well, it said that she was in a
Huh?
lot of people in the
What'd you
chat are
say?
saying that. A lot of people in the chat are saying she was homeless by choice. Homeless by choice.
Oh, okay. She was homeless by choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dawn couldn't put her differences aside. I would have put my differences aside. Whatever the difference. I'm not trying to live out my car.
No, I mean, it was kind of sad. But she was talented. Dawn could really sing. All them girls could sing, I'm telling you. It was a group where every girl had the ability to be a
Solo
lead
artist.
singer. Yeah. And you know, they disclosed that they went on a tour with Luther Vandross, and they swore that Luther treated them really bad.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they swore that Luther treated them really bad.
Starter contracts don't make the artist money. They end up needing to tour to make any money.
Right.
Now they done got it
Yeah.
all up in the contracts where they're not even making money doing a tour. They're swooping
But
that
touring
up
was
too.
always the money maker.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
why they
always
took
the
it
money
out
maker.
and they had them sign
Yeah.
contracts to take that away too.
Yeah. Because I know they said that when they connived to break, you remember Michael Jackson had an album that those people, Sony and them, connived to destroy that album.
It
I,
said
said,
Luther even called the police on them, Mr. Ford.
I told you, they said that he treated them badly. They
That is
talked about it.
terrible.
Huh?
That is so terrible that he was treating folks like that.
Well, I know they said he treated En Vogue really bad. I've heard that. But listen, that was an album, what they were trying to do. Michael Jackson was the owner of the Beatles songbook.
I do
And,
remember that.
you remember that? And a lot of people in the the higher ups, the executives, they were upset about that. Because you have to understand, white people define themselves by Beatles music. And they did not like the fact that the person who owned that music was Michael Jackson. And I can't remember, I don't know what that album was, but anyway, they plotted and destroyed that album. He didn't make any money off that album. And they were saying, well, what you can do is give back the Beatles songbook. He told them no. And he said, what I'll do is I'll go out and do the tours and make the money back. Because they did some underhanded stuff to Michael Jackson. I mean, really, we don't even know all the stuff they did to him. Yeah, they did some really underhanded stuff to him. Really bad stuff.
Do you think this movie is on the up and up?
I mean, they didn't deal with that. The controversial stuff and they didn't deal with that. They might have, because I haven't seen the movie. But I'm just saying what I know about him. They really did some, man, they did some stuff to Mike. I mean, he was an accepted Negro. But once he came in, when he became the owner of that Beatles songbook, everything changed for him. Because they did not want him to be the owner of that Beatles songbook. Not him. That's right. You're right. You're right. Well, I heard actually acquired a stake. Yeah, he owned a half of Sony, I think.
Damn.
Yeah, he owned half of Sony. Yeah, because man, that's a that whole thing with Michael Jackson was a deep thing. Because there's a minister out in LA now. He says that Michael was murdered, Prince was murdered, Whitney Houston was murdered.
Oh, all the greats, Lord, all the greats.
Yeah, that's a preacher. He comes on that thing and he does this thing and he says, yeah, they were all murdered. Yeah. Because Prince sued Warner Brothers for 17 years and finally won. And then all of a sudden he shows up and then he left some Texas thing that he thought just when I thought I was safe or something. It was one of the last Texas he left. Yeah.
Well, we'll be having fun on Saturday, so I
Okay.
will see everybody then, and we'll be celebrating Mother's Day, and we'll be celebrating my mods and having a kickback.
Okay, well, listen,
A
everybody
little
have a
juke
good night.
joint.
And Mr. Mona, you have a good night, okay?
We're gonna have fried fish, Mr. Ford.
Okay, y'all gonna have fried fish?
Fins and scales only, Mr. Ford. Fins and
Oh,
scales only.
now, what are y'all doing? Trout, whiting? What are you doing?
We're gonna have some trout, some whiting, brim, a little bit of brim, bass. Hey, does flounders have scales, Mr. Ford? Flounder? Do flounder got
Yeah, I
it?
think they do. Let me check. I think they do.
Jay, we're not allowed to have shrimp. We're not allowed to have shrimp.
They're
Only
bottom feeders. Some people say they're the roach of the sea.
please don't get Mr. Ford started. We not having no catfish. They don't have no fins.
Yeah, they're bottom feeders.
No, Whitley, it's a Thursday. The after hours ain't open. We gonna have an after hour all Saturday. What about oysters, Mr. Ford?
They don't have scales and fins, do they?
Would y'all please quit naming stuff in the chat? If they don't got scales and fins, you ain't eating it.
Yeah. Miss Whitley, I'm going to bed off of that one. I'm going to bed off of that.
See you on Saturday, Mr. Ford.
Okay. Bye, Miss Whitley. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Listen, quiet as it's kept. I didn't want to say it when Mr. Ford was on the live, but we're doing a detox, holding each other accountable and not eating any takeout after we start on Monday. Me and my group chat, we start on Monday, like no takeout. And so it's like a purge, right? A detox, if you will. And so I'm getting me a crab boil, juicy special. I want the snow crab with the sausage and shrimp with no head on Saturday. We start on Monday. So my crab boil, oh yes. So don't forget Saturday, bring your glass of wine or moonshine or water, tea, lemonade, Gatorade, because we will be celebrating not only just Mother's Day, but we'll also be celebrating the anniversary of my mods, listening to some music. I don't appreciate Mr. Ford calling me a YN though, and I don't appreciate all of y'all for laughing. Y'all were laughing a little bit too hard in them comments. Lobster, scallop, squid, octopus, shrimp, crayfish, snow crab, blue crab. Dang, James, you naming all the stuff you can't have. Redfish, bluefish. You know what? I really want some red snapper though. They do have fins and they do have scales. Ooh, Swag Saturday. You can buy all that from the meat market and cook it. I think I'm gonna get it off of, like Whitley said, they have Uber Eats. See if I can get me a 30 to 40% coupon and get it straight from the red juicy crab. Is snapper good? Absolutely. Y'all was laughing a little bit too hard. Y'all was cracking up a little bit too hard on me now. Mr. Ford said, if you don't know who that is, you a YN. I said, a YN? What you mean? So I will see you guys on Saturday. Y'all gonna be able to experience what it's like to be at the after hours. We're gonna have fun. So everybody be blessed. Have a good rest of the week. And I will see you guys Saturday night for Swag Saturday kickback.
Yeah, man, hey, write a check your ass in cash, man. That's all I can say.
I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around, and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I don't control. The clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road. I ask the question, Lord. Lord, why so this day? But He knows what's best for me. Although my weary eyes, they can't see, so I'll just say, thank you, Lord. I won't complain. That's been so good to me. He's been good to me. More than this world I could ever be. He's been so good. But He knows what's best for me. Although my weary eyes, they can't see, so I'll just say, thank you, Lord.